All right, guys. So, spring break next week feels pretty good. So, this week we're going to be focusing on, there's some academics in this, but we're focusing on you. Hopefully, you got your second shot and you're ready to venture out there and be a little bit more of a tourist than you've been in the past year or so. So, today we're looking at My Maps, and you're probably familiar with Google Maps and how you can drop a pen and save things to favorites and these sorts of things. But My Maps is a feature essentially in Google Maps which allows you to create a very customized map which has your own information, your own spots and these things, and I'll show you how you can access that in your phone when you're out there being a proper tourist and wanderluster. That a thing? So you want to go to this URL right here. If you type My Maps into Google search, it'll be the first thing that pops up. And I have, look at that, I have a my school account logged into my phone. It makes sense. Some of you are familiar with this Bucharest Colleagues and Community. This one, a bunch of people have added some pretty cool stuff on here. So this is essentially what it looks like. You have lots of little pins and you can customize these based on what it is and icons and different colors. This is all like your standard. You can organize things based on your own sort of personal visual spatial preferences. Got different layers. Here we got one called Places. We got one Restaurants. I'm going to show you how you can do this. You just create a new map. Let's say you're going to go to, I don't know, Prague. My map's called Prague. That's not how you spell Prague. Prague. Sweet. Now, you have already done the legwork. You're searching things up. You know you're going to go to this museum and these sorts of things. I have no idea because I just thought about Prague now. I know all about the City Museum of Prague. I love it. So I'm going to click on that guy. Now I go Add to Map. And now it's down here. I'm going to call this one Museums because that's like something I would usually have because I'm so cultured. Everything's museums. There's definitely no bars or sport-related anything. And now I have this on here, and you might be thinking, well, you know, I got a bunch of stuff. I'm going to make all my museums this lovely green color. And I can equally do some other stuff on here, and I can put some smart things, which for me, this, of course, snorkels is the first thing I think of when I think of museums. I'm going to get rid of this bit right here. So now this is all I have on my map. And I can add sorts of stuff. I can have different layers. I might want to change the base layer for whatever reason. Standard Google Maps. If I'm doing some stuff outside, I kind of do want the topography bit. You get it. And I'm going to show you some other examples. This is from a different account. Not bragging or anything, but spent some time in Paris. The date on that is wrong, of course. So I spent a summer or two in Paris, had some family come over for a bit, did a lot of planning because it was a big deal. Flew all the way from China with my beautiful dog. And so I was very, looking up because I have dietary questionable stuff. And all these restaurants are okay for me. It is. This hot dog place is vegetarian, trust me. And some other things, Paris, ironically, is not a great place for dogs. So I had to search out with Google Street View, which I can add on this as well, and find out where potential places for my dog to go to the bathroom was, and some other parks which are dog friendly and these sorts of things. My mom's flat, my brother's flat, all sorts of stuff. These architectural, looks like a glass. It's not a martini glass. It's a tower because these are all about architecture. These sorts of things, bakeries, etc. Now, then what I did was I just shared this with other people. Shared it with my mom and my brother. They could add on to it. They immediately opened up on their phone so they knew where my flat was and they could just put in the directions. No sharing of address and copy paste. It's just boom, we all have the same map. Great. Because we're weird Americans, we don't stay in the same Airbnb. I'll meet you at the restaurant at 4. Which restaurant? This one. It's on our map. Super easy. Now, I could even open that up with a different account, because sometimes it's like, I know I have a different account here, I got a school account there. I'm going to toggle back to my school account and open this up. And now it's opened up in my maps on my personal account. I'm going to go back over here, I should say school account. And if I click on not owned, there it is. And I can edit this, I can do all sorts of stuff. I can make sure that people with the link can edit it. So obviously this is really nice, just because you're already planning ahead, you map all this stuff out, pun intended, and there it is. This is the device you're going to be using when you're walking around. Now I'm going to cut out here, I'm going to record on this, I'm going to show you how this map, which I spent all this nice, comfortable time with Google Maps on my computer, how this can go into my phone. So when I'm out walking around, I'll have all my cool points and all my little bits and all that in there. All right, so now I'm on my phone. I'm opening up Google Maps. At the bottom, you'll see saved. Click on that. Now I want to scroll down to the bottom. Thank you. And now I'm clicking on the bottom right, this one called Maps. So I got saved. What do I have saved? I got Maps. I'm going to open that guy up, and now you'll see a bunch of my saved My Maps in there. A little slow. Very slow. There we go. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to click on my Perry. That'll load. And here we are. And now all of my corresponding points and wonderful places of culture and dog urination spots are all included on top of my Google Maps. And now I can just walk around freely the whole time I'm in Paris, and this will be on top of my Google Maps. Great. Pretty easy, right? So yes, there is an academic portion to this. For example, I am just going to search battles, World War II, Romania, My Maps. Let's see what happens. So I got European War II, that's fine. Let's just click on this and see what happens. I'm sure if I look hard, I could find it. Whoa, okay, interesting. Not what I had in mind, but it's cool. Let's see what this does. This is probably more my speed. So this is cool because it already has a bunch of points in there, 164. If I click on this one, see all this lovely information over here on the left. It's got Wikipedia, it's got a source. This looks like somebody had somebody make it for school. Now, let's just say I find a cool map and, maybe I want to use this in class. I can use this in class. I could really use this in class if I make a copy. And then I can have kids contribute, they can add things, they can modify things, they can do all sorts of stuff. Here, I'll show you super quick. So over here, this is one from a couple years ago with my grade 8 kids. The idea was we'd had a unit on poetry. I wanted them to be thinking about poetry when they weren't in class. So through the process of the next couple of weeks, when you're out, find some graffiti, find an announcement, take a photo of it, pin it on the map where you found it. And then you need to justify why it works with our poetry unit. What element about it's poetic? Is it meaning or message or word choice, something like that. I'm not sure what this does. I think it's in Romanian. It is. But if I look at the coordinates, I can literally zoom in on this and see where she was. It's in the subway. I can see that. And I remember. It's pretty cool. She was like the only kid in class who's ever taken the subway. Here's one where David, called Elegance is an Attitude, some sort of advert and some simple justification about what it does. Now, there are lots of things we can do with this. It already has a photo. This is how the kid got it on there. But there's this cool YouTube search or YouTube URL. If they've already done the research, they can add a video to that and these sorts of things. So there's a ton of information you could put over here, in terms of the museum you're going to, a video related to the park you're going to go to, all that awesome background work you do with your vacations can be easily transferred to your phone. So As always, if you have any questions about this, just let me know. I'll be happy to help. The week we get back from the break, Wednesday and Thursday, I will be talking about this if you have any questions. But Google has something which is more polished in terms of students and students producing things. It's called Tour Builder. It's not one of the waffles with the 9 tiles over there. It's its own site, but it kind of, you get the idea. It really is what we're talking about here. Works great with personal narratives, trips they've taken, trips they want to take. It's really, really good with any sort of historical fiction or anything where kids can physically put an actual place to the settings and the locations of what they're reading. And there's all sorts of additional information they can add in there in terms of descriptions and imagery and video and images and all that stuff. It's great.